back. This is Dave Gardner from Basic Lacrosse and LacrosseCommandments.com. In the backyard, again, in some of the other videos, we saw some brick wall. Now, it doesn't matter if you have brick or if you have cinder block or something similar to that. You can find a space, or if you have a net in your backyard, the idea is that you do a lot of repetition. So it's not just about using your dominant hand, but make sure you're shooting with both hands and take turns. Now, I have, about a dozen balls here at my feet. Instead of taking one shot and then having to go chase it, my problem is beyond the goalie, or the goal, I don't know if you can see, it actually goes down into a ravine. So if I miss a shot, I got to go into the woods in order to find it. Which, for one point, you can kind of think of as being a positive, because it's going to make you try to focus on getting the ball into the goal a little bit better, so that you limit the amount of balls you have to chase after. The key thing is to try to watch and follow where the balls went. I was shooting so fast a couple minutes ago that I wasn't paying attention. There was one ball that kind of went loose. I'll have to go back and look again. So it's not just about shooting right-handed and left-handed, but you want to make sure that you're shooting both and do multiple reps, maybe from the same spot, both hands, and then go to different spots, and then you could always move it on to doing it on the run. Again, the main focus here that I have for you right now is the idea of the basics. There's a certain spot that you want to hit that you may have saw me talk about in a previous video, and that's off-stick hip. So if you look over there in our goalie, if you're actually looking at the goal, that's a right-handed goalie, but his stick is actually on the left side. So the whole right side of the cage is basically open. And if we look, about half of the cage is open. If we take the midpoint of the goal here, we can see how there is a spot here to hit, a spot here, and a spot here. Everything over, for the most part, I have half a goal open, but I still have a big net here that's going to block out. So half that goal is open for me to shoot at, and in reality there's a lot more that's available as well for you to shoot at. So it's really bad when you hit the goalie. Okay, it's probably one of the worst things that a coach can see, is that you hit the goalie. Now, if you have a really athletic goalie, maybe he makes a super save and gets himself from one spot to another. Maybe he's over here and it's a cross crease pass, and he steps inside and then steps up. Maybe that hits him. Maybe you should have taken an extra step. So a lot of times you'll hear your coach talk about taking that extra step, or look for one more pass. Maybe you feed it back to someone else instead of shooting the goalie right in the chest. So just looking at that whole side of the goal, I have a large area that's open for me to shoot at. Now, I still hit the net, but at least it was on the right side where he wasn't at. Now, a little bit lower in that spot right there would be the off-stick hip. So again, if a goalie is in position and he needs to step over this way, that's going to be a lot harder save than if you just either hit him, hit his side, or just put it on the right side of him in the same spot, but on the goalie side, strong side. You want to always go to the goalie's weak side so you can get your best shots. Same thing down low. Bring that down a little bit lower. Down by his feet is going to be hard to save as well. Sometimes they'll just be doing kick saves. They might not even move the stick. You might just see this. Okay, they might just step to the ball, or they're going to step and move after and get their stick down. Some of them won't get their stick all the way down, especially at younger groups, and you can take advantage of that. So make sure you use that to your advantage about having half the goal or more that's actually empty. If you were to actually measure out all the actual surface area of that goal, unless you have a really, really big goalie, you typically have more than half that space open. And again, the example, if you just cut that goal in half, most of his body is on that side. You have this side clearly open. So make sure you're taking advantage of that when you're playing lacrosse and you're shooting. So I hope you've taken advantage of that. These are things that you need to stick in your head to bring yourself to the next level. Again, lacrosse is not only a physical game, but it's also a very mental game. All right, so take that to your next level, and I'll like to see your improvements in the future on the field. Thanks.